Jim Henson was obviously a visionary. He was a guy who from early in his career, even way before Sesame Street, in his early appearances on the Ed Sullivan Show, you could see that this was very different, different approach to puppetry that he was coming up with, you know, and by the time he brought those creations to what Sesame Street had become, he had become probably, without peer, among puppet creators. He had established his own, vision and style of what puppetry was, and especially for television, because puppetry in its history, the history of puppetry, had very little to do with the medium of television. It had to do with the stage, proscenium, so the marionettes, or there were hand puppets within a frame that but there was no need for the kinds of creations that Jim devised, which were really made for television. And then the variety of color and character and shape he could make anything into a puppet.
Did you have a favorite of his?
Of Jim's, well, of course, Ernie is. I think even more so than Kermit. Everyone loves Kermit, but I find Ernie to be actually probably closer to Jim, in terms of his own persona, I think.
In what way?
Well, in his hidden persona, I should say, because Jim in real life was a very mild-mannered, very soft-spoken, almost bashful, I mean, you hardly ever heard him speak above, this one, tone of, volume. He was very soft-spoken, very thoughtful, but had this great sense of humor, and I think Ernie is the expression of that sense of humor more than Kermit or anyone. I think Ernie, the way he, for instance, is always cracking on Bert. He's always got some trick, something that, and I think deep down, Jim really had that mischievous quality. I think he had to, in order to be the kind of creative genius that he was. It had to be like this big joke, like, wow, look at what I can do, and that's kind of what he brought to the art of puppetry.